Live from the studios of NBC 12 and ABC 25, this is Good Morning Jacksonville at 6:30.
And here are your big three stories at 6:30 this morning. Number one, we have an update after I-95 and State Road 16 was shut down after a semi-truck crashed and burst into flames. As you can see here, one person had to be cut from the pickup and was flown to UF Health but later died. The portion of the roadway has reopened. Lisa Robbins is live in our Power Block with what you need to know.
Number two, more fallout for United States swimmer Ryan Lochte. 4 sponsors are now dumping him in the wake of the robbery scandal in Rio. You've got Speedo, Ralph Lauren. You've also got a skincare firm, hair care specifically, and a Japanese mattress maker, all issuing statements with the message Lochte is out.
And number three, Tropical Storm Gaston has officially formed in the Atlantic. It's the 7th tropical storm of the season. Gaston is forecast to strengthen today and could become a hurricane by Wednesday. Lindsay Boach has the latest track.
Yep, good morning, guys. We are keeping an eye on Gaston. Not really going to make too much of an impact on us here locally. It is the next storm that we'll be watching, Hermine, which could make an impact on our forecast, and we'll talk about that coming up. But here is a look at Gaston. Winds of 50 miles per hour, which does make it a tropical storm, expected to be a hurricane as we head into Wednesday, like Keith has said, and continuing to stay, looks like just a Category 1 hurricane as it continues to move to the north and the west. This system right here, this is Invest 99L, which could be Hermine as we head over the next few days. We'll keep a very close eye on that. Right now, we are tracking some showers up in Glynn County, moving a little bit closer to St. Simon's Island, continuing to move to the south and the east, and Harrington could see these showers right about now. 7:19, we're expecting these showers at St. Simon's Island. Not really moving too fast at all, actually going about 5 miles per hour. Futurecast showing the chance for some showers later on this afternoon, mainly starting at about 2 o'clock and then continuing to push inland through the rest of the day. Temperatures today right around 91. We'll talk a little more about your forecast coming up. Let's go to Katie Jeffries at the ViStar Credit Union Traffic Center looking at the roads. Hey, Katie.
Hey, good morning. Your time is 6:32. So let's talk about that terrible crash that happened overnight around 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. It was a fatal crash between a semi and a pickup truck. You saw that video at the start of the show. Those lanes on 95 southbound are back open at State Road 16, but be careful. You might still see investigators there as well as crews that need to repair that guardrail. One more thing we need to talk about, a crash that just came in on Blanding Boulevard northbound. We're already seeing delays. It's near Argyle Forest. We're hearing at least one northbound lane there is blocked. It's a very heavily traveled area, so give yourself an extra 5 to 10 minutes there, and I'll keep watching it as well. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Katie. And happening right now, the search is on for this missing man. He's 79 years old, and police need your help finding him. This is 79-year-old Hal Worth from Clay County. He was last seen in Jennings State Park and has not been seen in more than 8 hours. Apparently, he suffers from an undisclosed medical condition. If you know anything about his whereabouts, you're urged to please call 911 immediately. Well, a man who was wanted in several states, including Florida, is off of the streets this morning. The FBI has taken John Arthur Morris into custody. He's accused of robbing 11 businesses in Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Police say he pointed a gun at victims in each robbery, but again, he has been taken into custody.
This morning, we're hearing from a man who witnessed a kidnapped woman escape from the trunk of her car on the highway. Police say Cornelius Ruiz lured the pizza delivery driver to an abandoned home during a fake pizza delivery call and forced her into the trunk of her own car at gunpoint. Once Ruiz was driving on I-10, she managed to open the emergency release from the trunk and escaped. Calvin Lamb says watching her jump was like seeing a stunt from a movie.
She literally sat on the bumper and almost like you would on the edge of a pool, just jumped right in. And I mean, to see her jump up and start running was amazing.
The witnesses stopped to help that woman after she jumped out amazingly, only suffering some minor scrapes and road rash.
You may remember seeing this video of a woman who pulled out a gun and pointed at people. You're about to see that in one moment. Well, she and another man have just been arrested. Police say it all started after one of the drivers cut the other off. It ended with a man in a chokehold and a gun pulled. All involved, though, are facing a lengthy list of charges.
A heads up this morning for anyone who goes to University of Florida football games. You might have to take another route on game days, reworking the traffic flow. The University of Florida implementing a new traffic pattern. They're going to close several blocks of West University Avenue. between Gail Lemmerin Drive and Northwest 17th Street. You see the map there. The closures will be announced before the game each week and begin 3 hours before kickoff. So to take a closer look at the map, you can find it on our website, firstcoastnews.com.
Here's a statistic to think about. Studies show that African American women are nearly 40% more likely to die of breast cancer than any other nationality, race. So why is that? Experts say some of it has to do with environmental factors like obesity rates and access to health care. First Coast News' Lisa Robbins caught up with one local nonprofit that's making it their mission to change things.
As of July the 11th this year, I'm a one-year breast cancer survivor.
75-year-old Emmy Pollard says she is feeling great these days following a breast cancer diagnosis in 2015. She says during her treatments, the women in this room stood by her side, making sure she never missed a radiation appointment.
They took me every day, and I had to go 5 days a week for 6 weeks. So, you know, this is a good support group.
A support group she'd been volunteering with for nearly 2 decades before she found out she needed the support herself.
Everybody don't know everything, and I surely don't know a whole lot, but I would like to know that there's somebody out there that's watching over me.
The women in this room belong to the Sisters Network of Northeast Florida, part of the only national African American breast cancer survivor organization in the country. And they're stuffing these pink bags for a very good reason. They're getting ready for their 10th annual Gifts for Life block walk. The 5K event will weave around these North Side neighborhoods, which the city has identified as belonging to Health Zone 1. Here, poverty levels are the highest and life expectancy rates are the shortest in the county. These are neighborhoods where access to health care and even information can be the difference between life and death.
Early detection, early treatment can save your life.
Chapter President Diane Townsend is a 5-time breast cancer survivor, and she has made a lot of friends since she started this chapter 19 years ago. She says she wants women to know there is help for those who need it.
When they need to see someone who needs to see a face of hope, who needs to have someone walk with them through their journey.
And they're going to keep walking every single year until they feel like their job is done. In Jacksonville, Lisa Robbins, First Coast News.
Well, all right. St. Vincent's mobile mammography van will also be at the walk this Saturday to help women who are insured and uninsured.
So we've got all the details, how to sign up. You know the place,
Yes.
firstcoastnews.com. All right, from top model to top professor, the top university Tyra Banks may soon be teaching at.
Plus, the current battle with Zika here in the U.S. has some now comparing it to a previous rubella outbreak. Just how severe some say the situation is, that is up next. Your time now is 6:38.
Here's what you're watching tonight on ABC 25 at 8 o'clock. One bachelor ends his relationship and leaves the show on an all-new Bachelor in Paradise. Leaving Paradise. At 9 o'clock, the cast tells it all in After Paradise. Then at 10 o'clock, it's The View, 20 years in the making. Well, after that, you can stay up First Coast News at 11 o'clock.
All right, 6:41 is your time. We've been tracking the shower. Just moving into St. Simon's Island now, just crossing over onto the island, actually. Here's a look from Kingsland, actually. Jeff sent this picture in, so looking north at the storm. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sending in this picture. If you have any other weather pictures, send them to me at weather@firstcoastnews.com. You can always tweet them to me at FCN Lindsay. Going back to school, getting the kids up, getting them ready, getting them breakfast. Temperatures right around 78 degrees this morning, 90 by the time we get to lunch, and then 91 after school. Scattered showers possible early afternoon, and then once we get into the later afternoon, we'll see those storms start to pick up. Going to work this morning, 79 at 8 o'clock with isolated showers, especially in our Georgia counties, and then at 5 o'clock, we're going to see scattered storms and temperatures right around 90, still giving it a yellow light. Let's go to Katie Jeffries in the Vice Air Credit Union Traffic Center. Hey, Katie.
Hey, good morning. So your time is 6:41. We just got word of a broken down car. This is on 295 northbound, just as you would go across the Buckman Bridge towards Orange Park. It's here here in the right shoulder, so be careful for those vehicles there that are sitting in that right shoulder, that law enforcement vehicle there as well. Also, still pretty slow. We're hearing that northbound lanes here, possibly one, maybe two, are still blocked at Blanding Boulevard northbound near Argyle 4. So you might want to jump on US 17 if you can, because US 17 we're not seeing the delays that we're seeing on Blanding at this point. Reminder, State Road 16-995, those lanes have reopened after that crash overnight, but don't be surprised if you still see a bit of a delay, even from onlookers looking at that mangled guardrail. So just please be careful as you travel southbound past State Road 16. Back to you.
Thanks, Katie. You know, a lot of people are surprised by this one, but I don't think it's that far of a stretch.
Okay.
So she started out as a supermodel, then she hosted the show America's Next Top Model. Not just hosted it, she was the executive producer of that show.
She was like it.
Yeah.
She was that
was
show.
her show.
Tyra Banks.
Yes.
All right, she's going to teach at Stanford.
Okay.
Now, set to lecture and co-teach a class on creating and protecting brands at Stanford University's Graduate School of Business. There will be a line out the door for that. About 25 graduate students are going to have the opportunity to enroll next May. The former talk show host is no stranger to the classroom. She was actually enrolled in an executive education program at Harvard in 2011.
A lot of folks didn't realize that.
No kidding.
Good for her.
Yeah, savvy. All right, speaking of college, first day is a huge day in any college student's life. But for one student at the University of North Florida, going to college means everything to him. And First Coast News' Katie Jeffries is here with more on him now. Hey, Katie.
Hey, good morning. So when you meet Corey Woosley, you can tell he has a heart of gold. He's one of the incoming freshmen at the University of North Florida. He also had Klinefelter syndrome and is on the autism spectrum. But one of his goals he and his family set for him was to go to college. And through a lot of work, he got that big day. Double checking his supplies. Corey Woosley, or the Woos, as his shirt says, is ready for his first day at UNF.
I am more excited for him than I am nervous.
Mom Michelle couldn't be prouder.
And he's really been trying to show me that he's independent and wants to get out there and do his own thing. So this is a great opportunity.
Doors are opening for Corey and his future. But the journey here all got started 5 years ago when Corey and his mom went to Keystone Behavioral Pediatrics on the south side and met Erica Whitehouse.
She's hilarious.
What makes her so funny?
Her laugh.
Oh. She matched up with Corey from day one, and she won him over with humor.
Do you remember what you said about your favorite part of college was?
Girls.
Girls.
It took years of therapy, but each day Corey was moving closer and closer to his goal of going to college. Even getting accepted into the ARC Jacksonville at UNF meant to help students with special needs.
I can't tell you how proud I am of him and how excited I am that he gets to have this experience.
Corey says he's going to miss Keystone, but he's ready for this. And who else to start it with than Erica by his side, who Corey and his mom say was a major key to helping him walk into this next chapter. So this is Corey's second day. He says he watches this in the morning, so does his mom. So we're cheering for you, Corey. For more information on Keystone as well as ARC Jacksonville, we're going to have links to those programs inside the story on firstcoastnews.com.
Corey is awesome. He said his favorite part is the girls. I love that.
And he's got roommates. He even said he cooked his own dinner the other day. He made steak, and I was like, I can't even cook dinner, so
One up,
well
Corey.
done.
Right.
Thanks, Katie. Great story. All right, quick check of your time now. 45 minutes past the hour is still to come this morning. New details into a deadly gator attack at Disney. What the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission says the dad tried to do to save his child.
Plus, the president making a trip to Louisiana today. The state continues to deal with the devastating flooding there, and Shelby is going to join us live with more on the situation, plus how a local baseball team is going to help out. Time for non-stop news, weather, and traffic. Where you have to get out of the door at 7 o'clock. You've got 12 minutes till that occurs, by the way. President Obama touches down in Louisiana in the next few hours to inspect the historic flooding there and the government's response as well. The storm so severe, it dumped 7 trillion gallons of rain on the state. That is tough to wrap your brain around. If you want to, though, it's 10 million Olympic-sized pools. Think about that. Meanwhile, at least 13 people lost their lives in the flooding, and thousands of families are waking up in shelters still without homes.
Meanwhile, there's a new way for sports fans in Jacksonville to help families in Louisiana. For each ticket sold, the Suns will donate $1 to the American Red Cross Relief Fund. Fans can also make donations at the box office. The Suns play tonight against Chattanooga at 7 p.m.
homegrown Zika concerns rising in South Florida. Shelby Danielson here now with how officials in Miami-Dade County are going to handle all this, especially with kids returning to school there. Hey, Shelby.
Well, I can tell you, you may be wondering why I'm wearing a jacket, and it's toasty just inside.
Right.
But I just want to give an example. Students returning to school in Miami-Dade County, a lot of them walking to school, and you can imagine how hot it is here. Imagine how hot it is in South Florida. Well, kids are walking to school in pants and sweatshirts. They're completely covered because it's not just relying on mosquito repellent now, because a lot of students are returning home to mothers who are pregnant or soon to be pregnant, so they have to protect themselves really at all costs. Now, there is a travel advisory that has been expanded now in Miami-Dade County to Miami Beach after 5 people just this week have contracted the Zika virus there, 3 of whom were tourists, and now that brings the number to 37 people who have the virus from a mosquito here in the U.S. So that means that mosquito carried the virus on our soil. Now, the number of travel cases across the U.S. has surpassed 2,000. Public health officials say the urgency to stop Zika is eerily similar to 50 years ago when there was a race to find a vaccine for rubella, which also caused severe disabilities in newborns. Now, in Puerto Rico, where Zika has infected more than 13,000 people, doctors are starting to notice something else. After one man who contracted the disease also developed Guillain-Barré syndrome, another man died just Friday after getting Zika, proving adults may be vulnerable to some of its side effects too. Meanwhile, Florida Governor Rick Scott just announced emergency funding for $5 million for Miami-Dade.
We need federal help. We need the federal government to step up and do what's necessary.
Says Florida as a whole, he says, is still safe for visitors. He will be in Tampa today speaking to a roundtable about prevention efforts when it comes to Zika. Back to you.
Well, new information this morning about the heartbreaking gator attack at Disney. Officials now say the boy was building sandcastles when he was eaten by the gator. The report also reveals that 2 people tried to alert Disney staff about the alligator before the attack. One tourist spotted it from his hotel balcony, and another tourist told investigators she saw it about 5 feet from shore.
All right, taking a look at your forecast now. We are watching a shower still moving onto St. Simon's Island. That is it for rain activity on the First Coast right now. That'll change later on today. Heavier amounts of rain continuing to push, now starting to move offshore. Temperatures across the area right about 76 at the airport, 79 in Waycross, 83 up at St. Simon's Island, down to 80 in St. Augustine, and 79. Good morning to all of you in Keystone Heights. Through the rest of the day, we'll get up to about 91, and you see those showers and storms starting to pop up as we head through the afternoon, mainly starting at about 2:30 or 3 and continuing to move south and then inland as well. So temperatures cooling off overnight into the mid 70s to upper 70s, depending on where you live, and then we're back into the upper 80s for highs on your Wednesday. 91 today, scattered showers this morning, especially in our Georgia counties, and then more storm activity this afternoon. If you're heading out to the Suns game today, taking on the Lookouts, first pitch is at 7:05, maybe a lingering shower still. Temperatures right around 85 degrees, but that heat index value at about 96. And we'll end the game at about 81. Here's a look at Gaston continuing to move to the north and the west. Could be a hurricane as early as Wednesday. We'll keep a very close eye on that. And we're especially watching this. This is Invest 99L as it makes its way a little bit closer to us. Could be Tropical Storm Hermine and could have impacts on us later next week. A quick look at your 7-day forecast. Upper 80s and lower 90s the rest of the week. Let's go to Katie Jeffries in the VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center. Hey, Katie.
Hey, good morning. This is your power block of traffic. We got a couple of things we need to talk about. First, if you're on Blanding, we are seeing delays here. You can see all this red of a crash. Blanding Boulevard northbound near Argyle Forest. Hearing at least 1 northbound lane is blocked, possibly 2 considering the heavy delays. Also just got a tweet in from Dan. He said that Phillips Highway in Greenland, that intersection had some stones this morning from a truck. So do be careful. Haven't gotten any reports other than from Dan about debris in that area, but I am seeing a delay, so use caution there. Also, the lanes of 95 southbound have reopened at State Road 16 after that terrible crash overnight, but still be careful because you might see investigators there on scene. Again, that's 95 southbound at that exit for the Outlet Mall. So for more on what happened, let's get live out to Lisa. She is there on scene.
Yeah, well, Katie, traffic is moving quite smoothly through this area, but now crews have to fix the guardrail. You can see here it was heavily damaged after a semi-truck and a pickup truck collided last night. That semi-truck burst into flames. damaged the guardrail. This area was shut down for several hours overnight, fully reopened about 40 minutes ago. Investigators tell us the driver of the pickup truck passed away at an area hospital. He's 75 years old from South Carolina. The driver of the pickup truck suffered serious burns and is recovering at a local hospital. Again, as you just mentioned, lanes have reopened, but crews will be out here for at least the next few hours until this guardrail is repaired. Still a couple of FHP officials on scene up the road. So again, just use caution if you're heading south on 95 this morning. We're live in St. Augustine. Lisa Robbins, First Coast News.
If you have to be ready by 7 o'clock, you've got 6 minutes till the 7 o'clock hour. Some top stories before we go this morning. A few minutes left in the power block, so here's what you must know. Congresswoman Corinne Brown will be in court today. Her third set of lawyers are asking to withdraw her from the case. Or withdraw from her case. They say they have irreconcilable differences and that there's been hostility and distrust.
This morning, police in Jacksonville have a mystery on their hands. A man and woman were found dead yesterday inside the Cross Creek apartment on Jacksonville's west side. It's still unclear how they died, and so far there are no suspects. If you have any helpful information, you're urged to please call police.
Well, a pilot waking up at home this morning, but it was a close call for sure. He walked away from a plane crash without a scratch. Authorities say he lost power while trying to take off from St. Simons Island Airport. Apparently made that quick decision, a life-saving decision, landed. There was not enough space on the runway, so he ended up in a grassy area. Amazing, no scratches.
We are proud to announce this one, a big honor for Duval County math teacher Angela Phillips has just won $10,000 as part of President Obama's Award for Excellence in Math and Science. She works at the Chetts Creek Elementary School, where 88% passed their state math test. Yes, it is an A-rated school where 35% of the students are economically disadvantaged.
I want to say quickly a happy birthday.
Yes, to Mr. Moses Brown. We don't normally do this, but Mr. Moses Brown, he's lived 100 years on this earth, so happy birthday to you, and thanks for tuning in.
So, thank you so much for doing that. Happy birthday.
Yay.
Celebrate accordingly.
Yep. All right. Temperatures today right around 91 degrees, so a bit cooler than we've been seeing. The past 3 days have been 97. So this should actually feel a little bit better out there, even though the heat index value will still be at about 100. 88 for your Wednesday, 89 on Thursday. Today we'll be watching the chance for some showers and storms in the afternoon. A little less rain activity Wednesday and Thursday. We're keeping a very close eye on the tropics, so we're watching two systems. One not really going to make an impact on us, but the other one definitely has a possibility of impacting us as we head into next week. It is a little too soon to tell when and how, but we'll keep a very close eye on it.
Getting out the door this morning, let's look at the Buckman Bridge, definitely picking up on the side going towards Mandarin. Blanding Boulevard at Argyle, seeing heavy delays on a crash on the northbound side, and also I-95 southbound at State Road 16. Those lanes have reopened, but still, please use caution. There are people there working on the guardrail, as well as Florida Highway Patrol troopers still there as well.
All right, one more time. We want to say happy birthday, happy 100th birthday to Mr. Moses Brown. There he is. He's retired from the Jacksonville Naval Air Station, so we want to again say happy birthday to him.
34 strong years of service.
Yay!
All right, happy birthday, sir. Y'all have a great day. A good Tuesday to you.
All right, at 7 o'clock is your deadline. Get out.